Hello. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I'm here 365 days of the year, and some of you are too, which I cannot thank you enough. Thank you. All right. If you're watching this on replay, hello. Questions are down in the description box. You can just, if you're here live, you can just follow along, or if you're watching a replay, you can go down. You can pick and choose. Just hit the timestamps and pick and choose what you want to see, what you don't. Get in, get out. You don't have to listen to me jibber jab. It is Wednesday, so I've got a hard cutoff time today at 1:40, but I think we'll be okay. 10% of the income that comes into the channel, and I do want to clarify this. It's the money that gets to me. Google takes their percentage, PayPal takes their percentage, Patreon takes their percentage. It's 10% of my income goes to 10% of my income from doing this goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country, and that's an ongoing thing. And I would also like to just take a moment to send healing, loving, divine energy to the people who are starving in Afghanistan, especially the children. Divine Spirit, fill the world with your divine energy. All those who are hungry, raise the vibration of the whole world so that everyone feels connected, that knows they are connected. So everyone will help to improve the health of those people and those children. Raise the vibration of the whole world for peace, kindness, compassion, health. Blessed be. Okay. Yeah, there were some videos this morning, and yeah. But I do have some good news. I found a piece of good news in when I was looking for stuff. You guys haven't been asking me many questions, which I understand. I am here every day, so I was looking for news, and I ran across a 105-year-old grandmother, 105-year-old woman, has broken the record for the 100-meter race, still going strong. And you should see her. There's a link in the description box. I've got it down as right now, it looks like question 0, but it is just wonderful. And she is just, and I guess she was doing, I forget what, cycling or something. I forget what she was doing, but she stopped doing it because she didn't have good enough competition. She didn't feel she had good enough competition in her age bracket. So she switched over to this. And she's broken the record. It's amazing. This one I think, oh, yeah, I'm starting to worry. Are my knees creaking? I don't know. There she is, 105. Go, 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 go. It's awesome. All right. All right. Oh, Felicia, thank you. Felisa, I'm sorry. Felisa, thank you. Thank you. And Kristen, Veronica for the news, is saying, a breaking news, Steve Bannon files a motion to waive his arraignment and enter a plea of not guilty to 2 federal charges. I'm not sure what I would read on there, but unbelievable. Okay, you guys are actually, I had space for it, actually a little bit more. So let me see if I can grab this quickly. I do have a cutoff time, so I do need to get my skates on, but if I open this up and I mute this, there, Let me see if I can grab this. Oh, no, well-being and health. No worries. No worries. And I'm just having a quick look. Susan's asking for any full moon eclipse energy updates and how that might play out. I do have some information on that to share. Hopefully I can get there. And then there's the Steve Bannon question. Well, there's not really a question there. Soul and so forth. Will a number of countries, including Canada, the US, UK, boycott the Beijing Olympics? I read on the Beijing Olympics yesterday, I think. But, okay. And then there's a question about Rittenhouse's mother. Okay. So, I'm having... Goodness. I'm having trouble fitting it all in because I had some extra information about one of the questions we'll be covering. Okay. So I've got this now. All righty. Oops. Go up a bit, and I'm almost ready. Okay. Now we're ready. Okay. Pamela Bryant says it's been months since Autumn read on him. I don't know. Desert Dawn, can you read on the judge in the Rittenhouse case? I've like within the last week I have. So if you do just a search on if you click on the channel, name of the channel, you can just do a search. So, okay. So at 7:30, this is interesting. I was talking to my friend Sarah, and she was telling me that Lauren Boebert's, Lauren Boebert's former campaign managers, Lauren Boebert's former campaign manager's home was raided this morning in an ongoing investigation into an election security breach. The elections were rigged, huh? The FBI has raided the home of Lauren Boebert's former campaign manager to investigate whether the associate took part in an election security breach involving voting machines. So it's on Raw Story, links in the description. The question is, what did Lauren Boebert know should be held accountable if goodness gracious. Lauren Boebert. Really? Really? What did you know? It's kind of like Trump when he would accuse somebody of something. It's like, oh, projection much? Like at the debate with Hillary Clinton where he said she should be drug tested. Really? Sniffy. Really? So Lauren Boebert. Proud cult members. 7 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Swords. Boebert. Oh, Lauren Boebert. Election lies, huh? Sitting pretty. Insult to injury. I don't know if it's about this, but the Wheel of Fortune raised Lauren Boebert up, and man, it's just gonna, the higher, it's like the higher the Wheel of Fortune takes them, when it goes down, it's like, not only am I gonna bring you down, but wham, and metaphorical swords in your back. Pamela is asking, Pamela Bryant saying, Sherry asked you to read on Kevin Strickland. Please look back at 120. Who's Kevin Strickland? I don't remember. I'm sorry. Boebert. So, all right, I've been getting that Boebert's going to be in trouble. Is it going to be over something? Is it going to be about this, whatever this is, about election fraud, or is this going to be more January 6th related stuff? Lauren Boebert, is she going to be in trouble, and for what? Is Lauren Boebert going to be in trouble, and for what? Lauren. Sorry about the phone, it's not mine. Temperance. No, I don't like seeing that, but unless it's talking about tempering the quality of people in Congress. All right, 5 of Pentacles, sort of out in the cold. 3 of Swords. 6 of Swords. King of Pentacles. 5 of Cups. That's leaving right next to this heartache, legal heartache. That could be some, the energy feels like it's flowing out from the center card. Oh, Rob D, the question about Kevin Strickland. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it today, but I will keep it in mind if I've got time at the end. I'm sorry, I've got a hard cutoff today. I remember now, and I have read on Kevin Strickland before, but I'll see what I can do. I don't know if you guys. I know there are other readers who are so good at all this kind of stuff, but I find it hard sometimes to juggle. Between trying to do the readings, trying to stay sensitive, trying to keep up with comments, and then if people are upset in the comments and our questions are missing or people aren't being answered, and I'm trying to focus on a reading, and there are a lot of things in all caps, and they're trying to get my attention, and I have to check to see if it's related to this while I'm trying to remain sensitive, and this is a lot. And I've, been sorting out the questions and finding new ones and finding enough, and the overlays and the colors and making everything match. And it's a lot. So, I'll, if you feel like I'm just blowing you off in the chat or something like that, I'm not. I don't want the readings to suffer. And I'm doing the best I can. I promise you that. Okay, so this question's about Lauren Boebert, and between questions, I look at the chat and I see what's there. So I don't mean to inconvenience you. Anyway, Lauren Boebert. This is leaving, possibly going to prison. This is my going up the river card, but it can also just be leaving. But this is a lot of storm and stress, storm and drang. The swords through the heart, out in the cold, from this lovely, these pentacles here refer to this feeling like a king, feeling important in the Republican Party, and she did her best to try to kick down some Democratic points, proposals, power, but she couldn't quite get there. But how she did it, heartache, out in the cold, rather than where she is now, feeling like she's important. So it's the energy is not the energy is not great for her. Well, I'm glad you're here, BC Mom. It's good to see you. Sharon Sipe says, hi, mother of 3. Gotcha. I love that. Thank you, Sandy. I'm the youngest of 3. My poor mother. Three more. Lauren Boebert. See if I can find her energy. Ace of Wands. Do not let her visage fool you. She's awful. In fact, when my friend told me about this article, she said, you know, I don't like this woman, but I kind of like her glasses and her style of dresses. It's not bad. And I said, great, you know, because, you know, Hitler's SS officers, their uniforms were designed by Hugo Boss. I understand. It's truth. You know, they were evil incarnate. Nazis were evil incarnate, but they were snappy dressers. Nine of Wands, Star, Page of Swords, bullying. Boy, she loves being important. She feels important. She loves that. That's the main thing I'm getting. It's like she's trying to be more and more difficult, but she's got problems coming. Electra Storm's asking, how did Hugo Boss survive that? Wow. I honestly don't know. I don't know how he survived, how the company survived, but they did. Stars and exaltations. I love that. She acts like she's important. True. Justin's mom. Oh, the overlays. Thank you. Stephen Haggerty says Boebert thinks she's a badass. She's just bad. Oh yeah, she's visions of she's going to have all this power and money, and it doesn't actually feel like her sights are set that high. Because usually people in her position, you know, they always want more, want to, but she's so excited to be where she is. All right, so 7 of Wands, Ace of Cups, 8 of, yeah, you're in trouble. On the defensive, yeah. She's got some big problems in her future. Big, as the rise and overflow of democratic power brings these people to justice eventually. So it doesn't feel like it's necessarily tomorrow, but it's coming. Lucky girl, you have much cooler nails? I don't know. Well, Julie's asking, why is it so many of these bad actors love the attention, even bad attention? Well, think about kids. You know, there's some kids, even if they're going to get the most awful attention, they want it because they are that desperate for the validity. And some people never grow out of it. So Taylor B says being a member of Congress has lost its prestige, especially after 45. Everything has been tainted. Senators, Supreme Court justices, it's all been tainted. Well, there's something to be said for that, but they still have a fair amount of prestige, especially depends on where you came from. So, FBI has raided the home of Lauren Boebert's former campaign manager about an election security breach involving voting machines. You don't say. 21. Okay. The judge, 21. The judge overseeing the Trump tax return case is a Trump appointee. Okay. Yesterday we looked at that judge who was a Trump appointee. Or no, we looked at whether or not Congress was going to get the tax returns, Trump's tax returns. While many of his comments have been leaning toward Trump, he also notes this is unprecedented territory. Can he be trusted to be impartial? I did read this article. Kristen was great enough to bring it, but bring the link, which is in the description box. But I read this article where McFadden is his name, Judge McFadden, a Trump appointee, implied that this reversal, the judge questions why the DOJ reversed course on Trump's taxes, saying that the reversal was driven by politics. And it's like, yeah, it was, and now everything goes back to normal. And he went there. He said the new stance might dictate that Congress could be entitled not only to Biden's returns, but even taxes filed by Biden's son, Hunter. Thank you, Stacy B. Thank you. Quote, I mean, if Congress changes hands in a couple of years here and a Republican chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee asks for Hunter Biden's tax returns, are you just going to say, oh, sure, we've got to defer to Congress? They've said they're interested in legislating on the presidential family. They've said we are interested in legislating the presidential family. We've got to turn them over. Is that going to be the administration's position? He asked. However, the judge noted that the Supreme Court said in 1977 about Nixon's papers that access to a former president's papers could implicate executive power issues. There were some other things in that article about where he was the founding fathers. He said, I cannot believe that the founding fathers expected executive privilege to carry on throughout the rest of someone's life. They kind of were all about once you leave office, you're done. And he's planning to rule in the next 2 or 3 weeks on the pending motion to dismiss the case. He said, we're in a bit of uncharted territory here, and what to do with a suit like this from a former president. Is he going to be impartial? And the thing is, I'm not even saying he would even consciously throw the case for Trump or throw it towards Trump, but even subconsciously, just because of his own biases. So is Judge McFadden going to be impartial? Is his ruling going to be impartial? Judge McFadden, come on down. You are the latest character in this. There was the Third Reich, and now there's the stupid Reich, or attempt. Failed. They're all failed. Anyway. Yeah. And for anyone who's wondering, this pile of that's boo-boo. I was sitting in the chair earlier, in the great chair of happiness earlier, and he was resting up against my leg, and I got up to leave, and he was just so happy. So he's buried in this pile of blankets, and he is just as content as a kitty on a cold day, curled up in blankets on the comfy chair. So are you going to be impartial, Judge McFadden? Is that his name? McFadden? Yeah. Are you going to be impartial? That actually might be how he's viewing Trump. The fool thinks he can just walk off. He can just exert, yes, I have executive privilege. See my executive privilege? I have executive privilege, and I'm just going to go for the rest of my life and go on this long stroll for the rest of my life with my executive privilege. And he might be about to fall off a cliff. Ooh, right behind that, Justice card. Oh, right behind that, Trump the man, worried. Legally, my card for committees. Those aren't the card. Okay, what are the actual cards for the reading? World. 7 of Cups, Page of Swords, Queen of Wands, 10 of Cups. Between this and this, I think he is going to rule that Trump has to turn over the tax returns. I'm sure he'll appeal somewhere, but this says he has to. But as far as this judge being impartial, it's like we get a reasonable outcome or positive outcome, but I wouldn't call him impartial. It's looking good, though. Overall, the energy is looking good. Okay, we're at 28 and a bit. Kristen has set up a Tarot News Community Discord server. So, and there's a link in the chat if that is something that appeals to you. Thank you for all your great help, Kristen. Thank you. Okay. 2830. Gosar. Today the House votes on Gosar's censure. Censure is the second highest punishment. I don't know if that punishment's a strong word, but thing they can do against a sitting congressperson. Will it escalate from that? If this is the second, and he's not showing many signs of having, I don't know, grown a conscience, learned anything, Gosar. I'm getting an image of a belfry and bats flying around. Lunatic. Jean, I hope I didn't mess it up. 5 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. He's not going to change. Nothing. Zip. Zero. Nada. Just keep on keeping on with what he's been doing and do even more. Fight even harder. Even some of the Republicans pulling him aside and saying, look, can you tone it down? And he's just, no, I'm here there are windmills to tilt at. Oh dear. Yeah, his sister is not a big fan of his. So, yeah, Gosar's, I've been reading on him a bit, actually. Oh, okay, all the cards coming off the bottom of the deck. That's not underhanded at all. Chariot. Oh, go forth and be obnoxious. Trump. Worry. Committees. I think there are some people who want to have a word with you. That's Gosar. Okay. Goodness, the sky is getting quite dark here. Yes, Joanne, Gosar's sister actively speaks out against him on social media. Yeah. Linda says Gosar's brother was chairman of the Wyoming Democratic Party. And Kristen is saying that Trump is raging at McConnell, demanding Republicans use the debt ceiling to hold Biden's agenda hostage because McConnell's going to listen to Trump. I'm sorry. Have you been paying attention at all? GM Dave, I'm with you. No such thing as quitting the fight against fascism. They will not win. Unacceptable. They must not win. Must not. So, okay. Oh, and Gosar's sister is going to be on Lawrence O'Donnell tonight. I love Lawrence. I will never forget. It was just after the election, and everybody was freaking out in the news media, and they're just like, okay, well, let's give him a chance. Let's give him a chance. He could grow into the job. There are other people, other men who've grown into the job, maybe. And Lawrence O'Donnell, he was the one person. He was sitting there because it wasn't during his show. It was earlier in the day because they were still talking about election stuff, and he just sat there and he was like, no, we already know what he is. And there was this, every time somebody was like, oh, he did this, he read off a teleprompter and he did a speech without sounding like Adolf 2.0. He was so presidential, and Lawrence is just sitting there. He's like, no. Good. So, what happened to Ellie? I don't know what happened. She's such a sweetie. I don't know what happened there. So, okay. 30, we're getting up near 35. Okay. Oh, her kitty passed away. Oh, bless. Good kitty. Bless Ellie. Bless her family. Bless the poor kitty. I just immediately, it's like the mental image I'm getting, for what it's worth, is the cat kind of popping out. I don't know if it's a male or female, but the cat popping out of their body. And it's like these two loving arms, spirit arms, just like immediately scooped down, and it was just like, I've got you. Just this overwhelming feeling of, I've got you. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. For what it's worth. Bless Ellie. Bless her family. It feels like the cat's in a very good place. So, okay, it does hurt though. Does it ever? All right, at 36:30. Adam Boehler, Boehler. I thought it was like the hat, but Jared Kushner's college roommate, Adam Boehler, was in charge of $100 million in government funds to help fix the COVID supply chain crunch. A report just came out that says it was never spent. He didn't use a dime of it for the COVID supply chain crunch. So, will charges be filed? And where's the money? Adam Boehler, Jared's one-time college roommate, $100 million. Oh, Jean's asking about, does anyone know of the psychic who did readings from her car? Sweet lady, blonde Linda G was wanting to know about her. I just assumed she was talking about the Empress. Been there a long time, did readings in her car or outside. Yeah, the Empress. Blonde. I think she's it's like Mother Earth Tarot by the Empress now is her channel. She's a sweetie. I agree, Betty Harper. Gosar and then skunk emoji. Yeah. But let's have a look at Jared Kushner's roommate. Okay, so Adam Boehler, Jared Kushner's one-time roommate, you got $100 million altogether now. $100 million to sort out the COVID supply crunch, and not a dime of it was spent on that. And you'd think, oh, well, was he embezzling the funds? That's the thing about these people. They don't have to embezzle the funds. They just take the huge amount of money and they stick it somewhere and get huge amounts of interest. And then they turn around later and go, I just couldn't work it out. Here's your money back, every last penny. Whereas they have banked the interest on all of that money and holding on to it for so long. Justice, yeah, he's got some splaining to do. Yeah. Empress, it's not your money, Spiff. Two of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Frat boy. Seriously, this is frat boy governing. Please. And that doesn't mean all frat boys are bad, but this is the worst version of frat boy governance. They're incompetent. He's incompetent. Jared's incompetent. He's incompetent. And this was, hey, there's this big amount of money. Let's move this over here. Hey, yeah, I'm important. Let's do some money stuff. I've got your back. No, incompetent. No. Tarot Mom readings by the Empress. That was it. Thank you. Tarot Mom. Yes, Deb Z. Kushner, the evil mannequin. Yep. Michael Grant says the bro system brought to you by the GOP. Wild Heart says the Empress is a quiet and sweet lady. Yes, she is. I do want to have more people come onto the channel. I just, trying to juggle everything is so difficult. It just is. Seven of Pentacles, fruits of labor. Oh yeah, I can fix that. Sure. 100 million. Lovers. Judgment. Temperance. King of Pentacles. Five of Cups. I'm not getting, there's not much here about, I'm getting incompetence. I'm getting, you shouldn't have been given this money. There'll be judgment he has to give it back, but I'm not getting a whole lot of I'm not getting a whole lot of justice and going up the river. And thank you, Pamela Bryant. Thank you. Sandy Miller's internet is back. Awesome. Awesome. Adam Boehler. So really the rich Jared Kushner roommate takes $100 million government contract and then does nothing, and he just goes, oh well, and swans off. Really? That's what we're doing, huh? They will aggressively go to try to get the money back, yes. Hopefully they'll take the interest too. Oh yeah. History is written by the winners. To these guys, it's like, who cares about history? Let's make some money. And he'll be called to task, brought to task. Boehler. Yeah, it was corrupt. All this is just saying that things coming to light. This has more to do with Kushner than him. Yeah. That's what I'm getting. It's very frustrating. Oh, Michael Grant says Harvard roomies. How was it at Harvard? Oh, okay. Yay. All right, 44. Somebody's trying to hold somebody accountable here. There is the headline was Trump coup lawyer John Eastman hit with new evidence in a bar complaint. The state's United Democracy Center, is appealing to the California Bar and the American Bar Association to have John Eastman and Rudy Giuliani permanently disbarred. So Eastman's the one who had the 6-point memo, which apparently wasn't even as bad as the Jenna Ellis memo. Apparently that one was mwah, and being pushed by Meadows, Mark Meadows. Yeah. Oh goodness, it's raining. Okay, so We'll do disbarment. 3 here for John Eastman, 3 here for Rudy Giuliani. John Eastman, are you going to be disbarred for, I don't know, maybe helping plan a attempted coup? One would think the Bar Association should frown at that. Oh, 2 cards there. And Rudy, are you going to have your law license taken away? And in general, card for these readings, you sent that stuff out into the world, and what you were getting back, what you were expecting to get back was corrupt. All right, Eastman. Ace of Cups, 8 of Wands, and then 2 cards for the final. Making some money, sending people out to fight. This is what he did. This isn't, unless it's a matter of it being brought to light or something like that. This is what he did, not necessarily what's going to happen to him, unless that's what's being held up. Like, this is what you did. Michael Grant says there is an oath to admission to practice law, which kind of includes to uphold the law in the U.S. Constitution. Hey, hey, hey. John Eastman. Oh, John Eastman. Yeah, this is your livelihood. Temperance, 6 of Pentacles. Rudy. Definitely out there pushing the case, trying to make money for Trump. And he's just out in the cold. Just out in the cold in general. Rudy lose his law license. Queen of Swords, investigators. That could be the board. 2 of Pentacles, Empress, and 10 of Pentacles. I don't think we need to worry. He's just put it this way. I think of those as marbles. And there may have been 3 of them, or 4, or 5. I don't think it's not coming up as being much of an issue for Rudy anymore. Oh boy. All right, so at 49. At 49, January 6th panel says it won't rush to hold Mark Meadows in contempt. Why not? I mean, why are you doing that? So, yes, it's Thanksgiving, but so they're not going to rush. What was that? What was the actual? The January 6th panel says it, quote, won't rush, unquote, to hold Meadows in contempt. Hello, Gilbert. Really? Really? So why not go after Meadows like you should? Because we want the information. So this whole, well, let's not upset the apple cart because it'll radicalize people and upset them. They tried to destroy our democracy. They're not going to get any more extreme. That's pretty extreme. So, could we please... one second. No, that's not it. Sorry. There was a sneeze in the house. I had to say bless you. Okay. Could someone please... Mark Meadows didn't even show up. He didn't even show up. Yeah, that was a legal decision. You didn't even show up. Teresa Ford says, burn the apple cart to the ground. Yeah, the apple cart is full of rotten apples. You're not going to make a pie. There's no pie available. You can't get there from here. 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles. They want to leave him with no options. 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands. Insult to injury. Get them turning against each other. This is somehow you think this is going to have the insurrectionist leaders turning on each other by you not going after Meadows? Can someone please explain this to me? Am I missing something? Is there a key part of this puzzle that is eluding me? Any more information? When are you thinking about going after Meadows? Taylor B says, I really don't want to hear what the committee will do or could do. When they do it, then tell us. True. Chat Wadsworth is saying that it sounds to others like Meadows is talking under the table to the committee. Amy Smith says Meadows is talking behind the scenes. But they said he was doing that before. Oh, we're working something out. And then he just completely blew them off. Completely blew them off. When someone shows you what they are, believe them. The 3 of Cups, high-fiving. World. Ace of Pentacles, Temperance. All right, well, Meadows is going to give over documents or notes or something. It's going to be a big shift, but I wouldn't get your hopes up too high. The committee's been so good so far. It's like, why? Please don't drop the ball now. Please don't. Oh, please don't. Hold these people accountable. We're begging you. Amy Smith says, yes, it's so no one knows he spilled the goods. Okay, is Meadows, is he actually cooperating fully under behind closed doors, under the table? Is that why they're not citing him for contempt of Congress? Democrats in control of the committee. He hates them. All right, his communications on the day. This is the Wands, the fascist suit. Moon, insurrection, and he's on the defensive. Not fully. There's an awful lot of... This is just tumult, howling at the moon. This can be everything from the January 6th committee to... He really despises the Democrats. Yeah, Jim Dave, I'm with you. Don't count on it. I'm not getting that. He despises the Democrats. And he absolutely... They all want to drag this out. Taylor B says a subpoena should have been ready to go the day he said goodbye. I hear you. Pauline Francis, could his refusal be a smokescreen agreed upon with the committee, to make the bad guys believe he's not cooperating? I'm not getting him cooperating. They're getting lots of information, but I don't think it's from him. 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. This is, and in this case, this card can have a couple of different meanings. Quite often it just means a lack, like a lack of Republican support or a lack of funds. This can also be the miser. And what he does have, he's not going to let go of it. It's mine. I'm going to put my feet on it. I'll even put some on my head if I have to, but it's mine. That's how Meadows is with the information. Insult to injury. Oh, well, too bad. All right, I might give you a little. Just little tiny crumbs compared to what I actually know, what I'm actually holding on to. That was just frustrating. But yeah, don't give him benefit of the doubt. He does not deserve it, is what I'm getting. So, oh boy. All right. 50s. The one good thing about the committee is they really are busy. They've got so much to go through that going after the higher ups isn't necessarily. Excuse me, my throat's dry. Sorry. They have so much stuff to go through that maybe going after the higher ups is they want to put their ducks in a row first. But mostly, justice delayed is justice denied. Okay, 5730. Mandy had a question. Okay. Pooty Putin. Sorry. Pooty Putin in his infinite selfishness. He decided that he was going to blow up a satellite that was in orbit. It's a Russian satellite, but he decided he was just going to blow it up. Target practice. You know how you do when you're in megalomaniac. So he just goes, blows up a satellite. Great, wasn't that fun? Yeah, except for the people on the International Space Station who had to scramble to close everything up and try to find some hint of safety. Anybody who's seen the movie Gravity has seen what happens when you get even little tiny little flecks, but going at those speeds, hitting a spacecraft, space station, whatever, poof, just goes straight through like a bullet. And woe be to any person that might get in the way of that thing passing through. So, Putin, thanks. Now, the question, there's some people who are worried about the satellite Putin blew up, the debris raining down on us. My understanding is the pieces would burn up in the atmosphere. But, Jane Weininger, hey, is saying 1,500 pieces were liberated into space. And you can actually see that on the NASA site. Great. I think it's more. I'm more worried about the International Space Station. So, So, little tiny bits of Russian satellite. Russian satellite glitter. That's it. Yeah, I'm on the defensive just a little. How can you do something? Even if I had the capability, I cannot imagine doing something without thinking, oh, this could put people who are up there in danger. It's like, what? Do you have something? Does Putin have something against one of them? And it's like, well, I couldn't find a window to throw you out of, so let's make one. King of Pentacles. Oh, congratulating himself. Judgments. Well, right there. Oh, Tower. Mostly. Oh, yeah. It's great. It was a great thing. And then people up there having to scramble. And people are having to move their own satellites in different countries. And satellites are life-saving things at this point. Between GPS and communications. If you're wondering if Putin actually did it, yes, he did. Oh, it was great. Oh, there's a problem? Wow. Russia's... Oh, I understand that it was old. Amy Smith is saying Putin doesn't care about them. Sandy Miller says, I'm pretty sure I saw a piece of debris falling that first night after they did it. Ooh, interesting. Taylor B says, even their own two Russians who had to take safety on ISS. Michael Krant asking, when will IT come down and stop this? So, yeah. Oh, there it is. Jane Weiniger. Russia said the satellite was old and dead. They wanted to rid themselves of it. Yeah, but if you have an old and a dead car, you don't get rid of it by shoving it out into the middle of a highway. You don't just go, well, I don't like it on my property. I don't like it here. So yeet it into the middle of a highway. There, it's no longer my problem. Will it be okay? Chariot? Yeah. Things are booking up there. They are moving. Oh, they're moving fast. 3 of Swords. Magician. Oh, where are we going to put this? Oh, that could really hurt. All right, what we're going to do, duck. It feels like somebody doing this. Okay, how are we going to move the? Are we going to move the station? Do we need to try to? What could we do? Could we put some more weight over here to make it turn? Or I don't. It's. There's a lot of debris up there. They're going to make it work as best they can. Is something horrible going to happen to the space station, the International Space Station, other than the fact that it's just old? Ace of Wands. Emperor. 10 of Cups. 5 of Wands. Oh, yes, the autocrats. Look up at the sky, our beautiful stuff causing chaos. I'm getting Russian stupidity. I'm not getting worse stuff coming, if that makes sense. Gosh, I hope I'm right. Reading on the collective energy is never 100%, but gosh, there are times I just really hope I'm right and those people stay safe. And there are some very, very smart people who are doing everything they can to try to help keep the people on the International Space Station safe. Yep. Keeping on. Orbit. Yep. Okay. Space Force. Yes. All right. So we are at 1:06. I still have 20 minutes. There we go. 1:06. There is a lot of talk out there. Chitter chat. That of the insurrection, the January 6th true believers. Well, let's there was a headline Kristen brought. Thank you. The attorney for Jacob Chansley, a.k.a. QAnon Shaman, says Trump needs to take care of the, excuse my language, jackasses that he blanked up because of January 6th. So are the January 6th jackwagons turning on Trump? Space Ghost. I watched Space Ghost back in the day, and then the reboot with the funny parody thing. It was funny. Anyway. Okay. Because they're so brilliantly apparently keeping these people together in the insurrection wing in a jail. But this guy has apparently been kept in solitary confinement because of COVID. I'm starting to get conflicting reports on what's exactly is going on, but you tried to overthrow the democracy, so I'm having trouble caring enough to go find the research on this, which is not like me, but these guys are awful. Yeah, communicating the far right, the world, we're going to take over the world and sit down. Michael Grant says they're monitoring these idiots to get more information. True. I'm sure of that, but it's also still just in general. Page of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. Making legal decisions, and Trump isn't helping them, and they don't have a lot of money, even though they're the ones who put their bodies on the line. You shouldn't have been there. There is definitely a sense of betrayal out there. Matter of fact, it almost feels like some people who weren't there or who weren't charged, but who are big Trump people, like going up to somebody who was there and charged on about January 6th and being like, yes, you're one of the great, da-da-da-da, and this person's just like they're not as enthused about Trump as these people who didn't show up. Linda McMurtry just said, stupidity is not a valid defense. So sorry, Charlie. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard sorry, Charlie. It was an expression, and then Sunkissed Tuna used it in their commercials for years. Sorry, Charlie. Gosh, that was just every once in a while somebody comes along, it's like it reaches in the back of my brain and just like picks up some random thing and goes, oh, look at this. You haven't thought about this since the 80s. Oh, yeah, cool. What? Yeah, they're feeling stabbed in the back, which is what you were trying to do to other. Okay, Five of Cups, Two of Cups. going to prison. The family's upset. They didn't even accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. Trump is swanned off to wherever and doesn't care. Yeah, there's some lack of enthusiasm creeping in, for what it's worth. I'm hot. I need to take this off. I'm sorry about this top. It's a little Sherpa fleecy line thing, pullover. You're going to be seeing this all winter because, man, it is comfortable and it is warm. The only problem is cats with white fur. Oh. Whew. Okay. Lecture Storm saying, poor babies, as I eat my lunch. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, still have time. Okay, at 1:11:30, Susan had a question. 1:11:30. Any full moon eclipse energy updates and how they may play out in the news? Funny you should ask. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait for just a second on that because I'll do this other one and I'll end with that one. Hang on. Joanne's question. Let's just do Joanne's question right now. At 1:12. Rittenhouse's mother says she didn't drive her son to the riot. So she says. Excuse me. I thought there was a big thing about she was, and now she's saying she didn't. Yes, Chad, I'll have to wear that inside out. Yes, he is. Boo Boo Zen Kitty, he is under the pile of blankets on the gray chair of happiness. He looks pretty happy down there too. Thank you, guys. Rittenhouse's mother. She has the energy of like an old raisin that like fell off a counter or a shelf and like got some dust and stuff on it. That's what her energy is like. She's like a really old, nasty little dusty raisin. It has nothing to do with her age, or I'm not talking about her age. No. Her energy. Ugh. Is she covering her behind? Chat's asking. Oh, let's find out. Electra Storm, she's 38, younger than you. Oh, I'm not saying anything about her age. No. Oh, nay. It's her spirit. This little shriveled thing. Ace of Pentacles. Oh, she is seeing a way to cash in. Ooh, she's seeing a way to cash in. And her child has to go to prison. Oh well, but she's thinking money. Teresa Ford said, "Laugh out loud. I'm seeing a raisin under a couch cushion when you described it." Yes. 10 of Pentacles. Money from the far right. Evidence? What evidence? This is evidence being presented. Evidence? Schmevidence. Money. She's awful. Oh, chat is asking, has she finally seen that she might also be held responsible? Kathy Anderson, hey. Kyle perjured himself on the witness stand. Oh, did he? I haven't been watching it. 4 of Wands. Knight of Cups, Two of Pentacles. Oh, they come after me, and my story has massive holes in it, but I'm a hero in the fascist state. Fox News is constantly saying wonderful things about the name Rittenhouse, and oh yeah, they'll come after me, or they'll whatever. Evidence from evidence, money, importance. That's what she cares about. Shriveled raisin, nasty, the kind that's gone solid, almost solid. That's what her energy's like. Oh, okay. Oh, there's some really cruel blank in her childhood. Okay. Ugh. Paula Vella saying rotten house. Yes. M. Kelpie saying she's begging for money. I believe it. Stars and Exaltations is saying the ones you find under the stove in the fridge. Yes. Okay. I don't quite understand what that means, Kristen, but thank you for sharing it. All right, let's get to, it is Wednesday, Friday. Well, I still have a few minutes. At 1:17. Susan was asking about any full moon eclipse energy updates, how it might play out in the news. Well, funny you should ask. Cat Shepherd is very angry about something. Hopefully not me. The news. So I was actually on Marjorie Orr's blog this morning, and I was reading about what she was saying about the eclipse, and she had so much information in here that I just, the best I could do is kind of tell you about it. Marjorie Orr, MarJorie, and then ORR. Marjorie Orr. She does an amazing blog. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. Thank you, Dave. So anyway. So the eclipse, okay, so basically what's happening on about 4 a.m. Eastern time on Friday, there's going to be a partial lunar eclipse. And because of the way things are set up and at a certain angle and what have you, it is going to be the longest eclipse in something like, the number I saw was like 638 years or something. It must be a particular angle that makes this, so it's touching longer, and yeah, we haven't managed to move the moon or the sun. Sorry, Gomert, was it? Sorry. But this partial lunar eclipse, it is at 27 degrees of Taurus. I have that written down. It's going to be conjunct fixed star Algol, which has a terrible reputation. But it's, in fact, Algol usually it's usually mentioned with all kinds of catastrophes and cruelties and anger and authoritarianism. It's just nasty. But that doesn't necessarily what's going to happen. Palavella, do we get to see the eclipse in Spain? I don't know. The place to go that I go for that information is a website. I believe it's called Time and Date, as in TIMEANDDATE.com. And they have there's a section on eclipses, and it'll show a map of where it'll be visible and whatnot. Okay. So today, Mars is opposite Uranus. So Mars, god of war, is opposite Uranus, bolt out of the blue, rebellion, rebel, and they're in. She called it a can be explosive opposition, but the energy's seesawing. So if you're feeling like the energy's a little crazy today, it'll calm down. Now here's the thing: there's going to be there are a lot of different charts that are affected by this. She doesn't even usually like list this many. So I'm thinking there might be an actual, like, this is unusual. There may be alarm about Russia's maneuvering in Eastern Europe, since the lunar eclipse is going to be on. It's going to sit across the midheaven IC axis, the one that goes from, like, in a chart that goes from 12 to 6. That for Moscow. Joe Biden has a Scorpio sun on the exact degree of the eclipse. Some people were trying to say that means, something horrible is going to happen to him. Here's the thing about a lunar eclipse. I can explain it this way. A solar eclipse tends to be things that happen in the world. Lunar eclipse tend to be things that will happen more internally. Not guaranteed, but that's usually how it kind of plays out. It kind of the way it wants, the energy kind of normally goes or wants to go. Not always a guarantee, though. So will this affect Joe Biden? Probably. Does that mean he's a goner? No. Trump has his Taurus midheaven. We'll be catching this as well. We'll see what happens there. France, it's going to get hit with their Scorpio Mars hitting the midheaven. They have a Scorpio Mars on their midheaven. France does, their chart, and this is going to hit that. So we've got Russia, France, Biden, the Queen. She's also affected because she has Saturn on her midheaven in Scorpio, catching the eclipse. And she has surprisingly withdrawn from the remembrance event. Eclipse, more internal. And then they come in pairs. So there's going to be a full solar eclipse December 4th. That's coming up. So there are various people and things and countries being affected. But hang on, there was something else in here too. Something about, I think somebody said something about Prince Andrew. Oh, and Justin Trudeau's natal midheaven is also at 27 Scorpio, so we'll be hit by the eclipse. House of Commons in Canada reconvenes on November 22nd, several days after the lunar eclipse. So, Prince Andrew, his Scorpio moon is at 25 degrees of Scorpio, so it's going to get hit by the eclipse, which just happens to coincide with near the start of the Ghislaine Maxwell trial that starts Monday. That is a little more worrying. Internal, bad energy, Algol, the angry, and your moon is your emotions. Eclipse, big energy. Yeah. And you got this trial coming, about to start 3 days later. Not good for him. So anyway, also Poland. The eclipse is squaring Poland's 1918 chart. And Belarus their Declaration of Independence chart from 91 has a lot of planets being hit by this. So lots of different stuff that could come up. That's kind of what we're watching for. It will probably be, crazy days at the ERs and kind of how it normally happens. So that is that. All right, and that's going to do it for me for today. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. So, all right. That's going to do it for me today. It's 1:41 here in Chicago. At 4 o'clock in Chicago, I will be over on Book Art Media to do creative sprints with anybody who wants to come over and just bring your creative project, any creative project. And, knitting or sewing or painting or writing or whatever. And just carve some time out of your schedule to get some of that, to work on some of that. And we just wanted to encourage you. And that's it. There's no, I don't make any money from it. I'm not trying to sell you anything. It's just, I want to encourage you. And yeah, that's all. All right. So hang in there. And I will definitely be back tomorrow. There are good days ahead. Okay. Thank you. Oh, don't forget, Friday's also the day Trump loses all of that Jupiter protection he's had. So starting then, things should start getting interesting for him. It won't happen immediately, but it could. We don't know. See you tomorrow.